I've gotten a message for the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mr. Andrew Holness. The Spirit of the Lord has given me a warning for you. The Spirit of the Lord says to tell you that the next election, your position will be taken from you and given to another. The people of Jamaica will reject you because you've eaten the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. You have spread your bed with the Eden, and God is not pleased with you. Therefore, you shall be removed. Please take heed. Put the country of Jamaica on a 3-day fasting, as Jonah went to warn Nineveh, and the king obeyed, and put all his people, including the animals, on a 3 days of fasting. Mr. Andrew Holness, warning comes before a great fall. Doesn't matter what you do. If you don't take the godly way, you will never sit on that throne for the next election. Said the Spirit of the Lord. Shalom.
As a result of an Integrity Commission investigation, the move to replace her with the wife of the Prime Minister, so that the head of Parliament is now the spouse of the head of government, really does not sit well with the tradition that the Speaker must act independently of the government of the day. The Speaker is intended to be independent and must act independently of the government of the day. That is the tradition. That is the tradition. The failure, Mr. Speaker.
Members.
And was left the Parliament without a quorum. I think it's the first time this has ever happened in independent Jamaica. That in a budget speech, the opposition has been denied the opportunity to finish their presentation. And here I am assembled on Duke Street. I was near the end anyway, but there were some important points that needed to be made. And I'm going to continue. The point I made when they walked out was this. When the former Speaker was forced to resign as a result of an Integrity Commission investigation, the move to replace her with the wife of the Prime Minister, so that the head of Parliament is now the spouse of the head of government, does not sit well with the tradition that the Speaker must act independently of the government of the day. That is a fundamental principle of the Westminster system of democracy. And it is protected in a number of ways. For example, in the United Kingdom, nobody runs against the Speaker in an election. They make sure the Speaker is elected because that person is supposed to be independent. So that, I think, that move to do what happened in our case here was inconsistent with that level of independence that's required. The failure to disclose the identity of the so-called illicit 6 MPs who are under investigation by the Integrity Commission for illicit enrichment remains a festering sore, only made worse by the Prime Minister's gag order on his own cabinet ministers from speaking publicly on matters to do with the Integrity Commission. The Prime Minister's statutory declarations of assets and liabilities and income have not been certified and published by the Integrity Commission for successive years. It is untenable for the head of government of Jamaica not to be in good standing with the country's Integrity Commission for a prolonged period. All I can say to him, and I would have said it to him if we were still in the House, all I can say, if I were in your position, I would take with myself and hand over to someone else who is not compromised. Jamaica's iconic global track superstar, the Honorable Usain Bolt, and many other innocent investors were carried down in the scandalous SSL fiasco. And we can't hear anything about charges being brought against the culprits. I have been told that the DPP's office is dragging their feet when there are a number of people that the Financial Investigations Division are seeking to bring charges against. In fact, in August last year, the Gleaner carried a report that from the FID that there were several persons that they were intending to move against with charges. That report is no longer on the Gleaner website, but I am told that the DPP's office is dragging their feet on this. The Kroll forensic report, which has cost taxpayers millions of dollars, was delivered to the government months ago. It must be released to the public so we can see what the findings are. Jamaica will not accept a cover-up of this shameful debacle, which has tainted our country's reputation as a safe and well-regulated place for Jamaicans at home and abroad to save and invest. In fact, a commission of inquiry into this SSL scandal will be needed. Jamaica is crying out for change in this area. This is why I have identified an entire cluster of portfolios within our own governance structure to address the now desperate area of transparent and accountable governance. We must translate good governance principles into tangible action that restores trust and confidence in our leaders and preserves our cherished freedoms and democratic way of life. Change means no more hiding of the truth from Jamaicans. Change means no more deception in official public communication. Change means putting transparency and communication at the heart of good governance. It affirms that respect is due to those who elect governments and pay taxes. That's why we will implement a comprehensive strategy centered around engagement and accessibility. Our aim is to ensure that every voice is heard, to bridge the gap between leadership and the people. This means holding town hall meetings, physical and virtual, to give every citizen a voice in the decision-making process. It means conducting community walks, listening to the concerns of our constituents, and working together to find solutions. It means providing regular progress reports on projects and programs and keeping the public informed and involved every step of the way. Change means practicing accountability as a central principle of good governance. That's why, after the terrible incident of the woman being beaten in public with a stool, I tabled an impeachment bill in the House of Representatives in 2021 to provide a mechanism to hold to account any parliamentarian whose egregious conduct brings his or her office into disrepute. Despite this having been a manifesto promise of this JLP government from the 2016 general elections, my impeachment bill has not been allowed to go forward to a joint select committee for wide stakeholder consultation and then be passed into law. They don't believe in accountability. When I entered the political arena, there were some entrenched ways of doing things. Making change happen requires a fresh approach. Things will be very different under my watch, because I will tolerate none of it. The last PNP administration put local government in the Constitution. We passed the 3 strategic laws to modernize the legal framework of local government in keeping with modern best practices. One of those laws, the Local Governance Act, makes provision in Section 18 for the recall of an elected mayor, and it may be initiated by a petition alleging a charge of gross misconduct or dereliction of duty, and it has to be signed by at least 25% of the registered voters in the city municipality. The next PNP government will institute a fair and balanced recall system for elected officials, both at the local government and parliamentary level, to deepen accountability and empower the voters with recourse where they are badly let down by whoever they elect to parliament. Change means not taking away the rights of the people of Portmore without proper consultations with them. followed by a referendum to let them make the decision whether or not they want to give up their city municipality status and their right to directly elect their mayor, a right given to them by the People's National Party. Jamaica has spoken, and the PNP has listened to the concerns of the people. We are offering solutions based on thorough research and consultation with our stakeholders. We will embark on this journey together with the people towards a future where opportunity for advancement is not a privilege, but a right for all. We commit to good governance for the people of Jamaica, not as some abstract concept, but as a living promise fulfilled to every citizen of our nation. We are on a fast track on the road to change, and we invite all Jamaicans along this exciting journey in a spirit of hope for a better and brighter future for all our people. And I would have ended, thank you, Madam Speaker, but I won't end that way because I'm not in the Parliament. I'm on Duke Street with my family.
Trumpet has sounded, my countrymen all, awake from your slumber and answer the call. The torch has been lighted, the dawn is at hand. Who joins in the fight for his own native land? Land of my birth, I wish to be loyal and faithful, true to thee.
Was that the Prime Minister, as head of government, cannot be in a situation where he's not in good standing with the Integrity Commission of the country. He has failed to have his statutory declaration certified. And that statutory declaration lists his assets, his liabilities, and his income. And for successive years, the Integrity Commission has not certified and published a summary of his declaration. That is an untenable situation for Jamaica. And I was, in my speech, the next point I was going to make was to say, if I were in his position, I would take away myself and replace myself with somebody else who is not compromised. The Prime Minister knew that was what was coming next. He couldn't face the heat, so he decided to walk out. First time ever in the history of Jamaica, the government ends the budget presentation of the leader of the opposition by pulling out their members and denying the Parliament a quorum so the proceedings couldn't be completed.
Family, for their love and support.
Every time.
In particular, Juliet. An independent woman. A self-made woman. Who has achieved all that she has on her own effort, in her own right.
Opposition members attended the sitting, but
Unity Action for Rewarding Engagement initiative called, what does that spell? That's the CARE initiative. To reach every young man and woman who is not working and is not enrolled in a trading program. HEART will be proactive in finding you and bringing you to the well of trading. If our economy is to grow, we need every able-bodied man and woman who is able and capable of working to join the labor force. The CARE initiative will be activated in all 63 constituencies. Each member of parliament will be asked to identify 30 young persons from their constituency using predetermined selection parameters set by the program. A specialized team in HEART will go to their houses or meet them on the corner if necessary to engage with them and enroll them into the program that will enhance their employability. We will, in partnership with the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, construct 14 homeless shelters on government lands across Jamaica. 14 homeless shelters. These shelters will vary in size and design based on needs assessment carried out by social workers and housing specialists to properly address the unique needs of the homeless, as well as genuine social cases identified by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Madam Speaker, currently, public sector workers enjoy a special benefit which allows for access to a home improvement loan from the NHT 10 years after the initial mortgage. For non-public sector workers, these contributors, the time to access the loan is 15 years. As more Jamaicans become homeowners, there has been an increased demand for home improvement financing. As a result, effective July 1st, 2024, the NHT will revise its home improvement loan policy to allow all contributors to access the home improvement loans up to $3.5 million after 10 years.
The objective is to incentivize on-time filing and paying statutory deductions. However, that objective is really questionable, because to qualify for this, he says that you will have to become fully compliant for the 2023 tax year already gone by March 31, 2024, and that deadline is less than a fortnight away.
Exactly.
Therefore, as a practical matter, it is most unlikely that anyone who is not already tax compliant will get the benefit. Furthermore, it is wishful thinking that a single payment of $20,000 would induce anyone who is now outside the tax system to take steps to bring themselves into it and start paying taxes. And it applies to persons below the threshold. The truth is that this so-called reverse tax credit smells like a $20,000 giveaway for political advantage as we get ever closer to the next general election. Focused on genuinely increasing exports, strengthening food security in Jamaica, expanding irrigation and research capabilities in the agricultural sector. And we're going to brand this the SMART program, Sustainable Management of Agriculture through Research and Technology, SMART. We'll manage the sector through increased training of our youth, with a focus on agricultural training institutions such as 4-H clubs and the extension services offered through RADA. We will increase the productivity of our farmers through introduction of improved climate-smart farming systems and technology to drive farming operations. We will expand and repair the farm road network to enable our farmers to access their farms and transport their produce to market. We will engage our major private sector players in the poultry and agricultural processing and milk and livestock production to create the enabling environment that they require so they can expand their already significant contribution to the economy. We'll partner with the UWI and other technical institutions to engage in research that will boost productivity. The College of Agricultural Science and Education, CASE, must be given the financial resources to do the necessary research that will assist our farmers to produce at a consistently high quality. And in fact, the next PNP administration intends to upgrade CASE to a university.
Mr. Golding also.
I do understand what Mr. Golden is saying. It is a conflicts of interest when an husband and wife are a family member working together. I never see a prime minister walk out because he don't like what his peer said. If a prime minister is so emotionally driven, is he capable of running a country? And most importantly, Mr. Holness, where is the money?